GM, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the weekly crypto recap. My name's Josh Gordon, I'm your host, and I've got so many cool news stories breaking from the crypto world this week. You know, every week is really exciting in Web3 because so much innovation and creativity is happening and flourishing in the community. So we've got information and news stories about tokens dropping, companies raising funds, really insightful reports on the state of the world in crypto and more. So if you find value from this video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We've got videos coming out every Friday on a crypto weekly recap level. We've got podcast episodes, YouTube clips, and interviews coming out every week. So really informative stuff. Let's dive into these news stories. All right, Ape Coin dropped this week. So Ape Coin is for the Web3 economy. So what is this? This is a utility token that's been created and now being able to be sold and traded from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now, I'm gonna read this from their website. Culture has found new expression in Web3 through art, gaming, entertainment, and events. The possibilities for blockchain's impact on culture are so endless that they can't possibly all be predicted yet. Ape is a token made to support what's next, controlled and built on by the community. It will serve as a decentralized protocol layer for community-led initiatives that drive culture forward into the Metaverse. Now, we honestly have never seen a token drop quite like this before. It was such a unified release from exchanges, from the community, from the company behind Bored Apes, Yuga Labs. Everything was really done in unison, and I was so impressed by it, and a lot of people in the crypto world were as well. Now, this token comes with a kind of a list of things associated with it. One of them is a DAO. Now, the Apecoin DAO exists because decentralized governance is critical to building and managing globally dispersed communities, and therefore critical to the success of the ape ecosystem. Now, this DAO, people who hold ape tokens can be voters and contributors to it. Now, the DAO also has a special foundation, which you can think of as a board of directors. And honestly, this board has some pretty prominent people sitting on it, including the co-founder of Reddit, Alex Ohanian, and Amy Wu. She leads ventures and gaming at FTX. We have some real big industry players overseeing this board. Now, these board members can hold their seat for 6 months until after that, the DAO can vote on who sits on that board on a year-to-year basis. So on top of that, you know, I mentioned the exchanges. Now, I've just never seen a token drop with such unified marketing and communication. Voyager, Coinbase, FTX, Gemini. I mean, everybody listed and posted about this coin all at once. It was pretty amazing to see. And honestly, like the marketing and communication around it was just top notch. I mean, it focused on the Bored Ape brand, on the community. And what I think is so special about this is the apes have established themselves, and I would say they put the stamp on it this week as the blue chip leader in the NFT space. And you know, the price of the NFTs are pretty expensive on a NFT to NFT basis. I mean, you're talking 10 plus ETH for a mutant, you know, 90 plus ETH for a Bored Ape. But what's exciting about this is that the Ape token, Ape Coin, gives people the ability to have exposure to the Bored Ape ecosystem from a token perspective if you're not a holder of the actual NFT asset. So I'm excited about this, and it's really got me thinking, like, what happens if the next wave of video games and internet services adopt this coin as the payment method? I mean, it's a lofty goal, probably won't happen, but crazier things have transpired over the past year. I mean, who knows, but there's so much hype coming out of this right now. You know, you're seeing video game creators and decentralized apps and products and services posting on Twitter saying, hey, we will accept Apecoin. Apecoin can be paid for our Web3 native products and services here. And that's what's exciting to me. It kind of signifies the early motions of a potential flywheel. You know, the more people and services and dApps who accept this as payment in the Metaverse, the more value that the token can have. So I'm watching on the side. In full disclosure, I do hold 2 mutants myself, so this coin definitely is something that I am buying and selling, but I just wanted to make everybody aware of it if you have not seen it already online. Now for the second story of the week, I want to talk about a really interesting research report dropped from someone named Ansem. And now Ansem has a newsletter that covers crypto and DeFi and is really, really in depth. Now, what I love about reading reports is it helps me get an overview on the market and the trends we're seeing from people who are really analyzing and looking at both the macro and the micro trends. A lot of times you can get stuck on just looking at Twitter or maybe reading articles on like CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, but this report kind of puts things in perspective for me. So one thing I want to point out is that he talks about how there's never been a more clear reason for why non-government money is so important. So we saw with Canada the freezing of truckers' banking accounts during the protests that were going on there. Ukrainians are fleeing the country and looking for capital as they need to, resettle, relocate during this tumultuous time. Russia is getting cut off from the banking system. And now, these are pretty extreme examples, but they do highlight the importance of a global monetary system that everybody can access, because there are times, and we're seeing this happen like at a more rapid frequency. There are times when people need access to finance when they get cut off from their ability within their country. So I love reading about trends and analysis, and just really highly encourage this read. Grab a coffee, absorb this for 30 minutes. I think you'll be better off for it. And something else from the report, they highlighted some big funding rounds, and one happened this week that I do want to point out. So this is almost like story 2.5. Now, $450 million was raised by ConsenSys. ConsenSys is the company that is behind the product MetaMask, which is a browser extension and an Ethereum wallet widely used in the crypto world. You probably have MetaMask yourself downloaded, and this is exciting for a couple reasons. One, MetaMask just hit 30 million monthly active users, and another ConsenSys company called Infra, which is an infrastructure tool, they now have over 430,000 developers. So, we're seeing just massive user base and developer activity rise in the crypto world, and that's a sign of adoption and really innovation coming. Another interesting thing coming out from ConsenSys is they stated that they're going to be increasing their headcount from 700 to over 1,000 employees by the end of 2022. So, we're just seeing funding increase, we're seeing headcount increase, and that's a sign of talent coming in this space, which I'm pretty hyped for. At Unstoppable Domains, we're also rapidly expanding our team, so we're seeing that here too. But it's just so cool seeing this happen really across the board. It's a leading indicator for innovation to come. All right, with story 3, let's talk about music NFTs. Now, we've talked about music NFTs on this channel before, specifically with Snoop Dogg, and I'm going to bring them up again. But before that, let's talk about Sound.xyz. So Sound is a platform that you can buy music NFTs on, and they do things in a pretty interesting way. But they had some pretty big milestones this week. One of them, they announced that they've now paid out $1 million to artists who have created NFTs on the platform. I mean, that's a big milestone. It's $1 million is peanuts compared to, I would say, the Web 2 music world, but it's a sign that success can be had in Web 3 with music. Now, on top of that, they hit $1 million in secondary sales of their music NFTs. So not only did artists get paid out through the launch and sale of their initial NFT, but then trading activity has been happening on secondary markets like OpenSea. So, we've talked about music NFTs here on the Crypto Weekly Recap, on the Unstoppable Domains podcast, but this was a big moment for music NFTs at large. Snoop Dogg dropped a song on the platform and single-handedly, boosted the volume of trading across the whole crypto space in the music NFT world. So he sold out all 1,000 of his NFTs and has now done 400 ETH in secondary trading volume. Now, what's interesting here is that a big narrative in the music NFT world is that the owning of this asset will let you share royalties with the artist. And that's a great function, but we've kind of been yet to see that happen with success. Royal is a platform that is kind of talking about that mission, but Sound does something different. They're letting artists debut their music and allowing fans to buy the song, buy the NFT, and leave a comment on the song. So this is kind of like a way to stamp your name and co-sign on an artist and really say, I was here from the jump. So I just do want to preface just kind of what like with the Ape, I do own 2 Sound.xyz NFTs actually, but I did buy the Snoop Dogg one. So it sold out near instantly, but I got fast internet and I guess I got some fast clicking fingers, but I do hold one, but I still think, I want to let everyone know, with transparency about that. But regardless, I still do think that this is a super interesting platform and just a fun experience overall. All right, in some Unstoppable Domains news, we launched a super cool feature this week called Humanity Check. So in Web3, digital identity isn't just about the tech. It's also an opportunity to be more human. So with Humanity Check, it's 100% opt-in, and I want to talk about it here. So imagine an NFT drop that was actually fair. One where you knew for a fact that everyone was a unique person and not a bot farm with 10,000 wallets all trying to scam the system and mint the NFTs at once. Where trust is high, innovation and community flourish. So Humanity Check enables this all while preserving your anonymity. So Humanity Check is a verified but 100% private identity layer that you can attach to your Unstoppable domain. So with Humanity Check, you can prove you're a unique person to an application, enrich your experience and collect rewards, all without revealing any personable, identifiable information to the app. So your privacy comes first. So by adding a verification layer here while respecting your privacy, apps can verify through a unique ID created by the Humanity Check and that's connected to your NFT domain that you are who you say you are, and Unstoppable does not and never will have access to any of the data you share through the Humanity Check process. I just can't emphasize that enough. You're in control of your data, only you see it. By going through the Humanity Check process, you can kind of think about it as the Humanity Check says verified, but the app doesn't see any of that information you use to verify it, and neither does Unstoppable. So it's a quick and simple thing. It just takes a few minutes to complete, and verification only needs to happen once per domain. So soon, people who complete the Humanity Check process will receive a verification on their Unstoppable domain profile, which will unlock new reward programs on both our platform and across our login integrated apps. So super stoked to see more Web3s build reward programs on top of this and incentivize their users with, privacy in mind. Time to shout out a community member of the week, and I want to highlight Jeff Chris Raven. You claimed a Unstoppable Twitter banner and you've been rocking it online. So thanks for sharing the Twitter banner with your Unstoppable domain name on it. This is a promotion we ran a week ago, and all Unstoppable fan members, which is anyone with a NFT domain name as their Twitter name, can participate. And we put out a form and said, hey, drop your Twitter account, drop your NFT domain name in here, and Unstoppable Domains will create a Twitter banner for you to, display your NFT domain name on. So the first batch that we released last week, it went out, filled up right away. We're actually having a human designer make these for you. So we had to put a cap on how many we can make because this designer is human and has some limitations, but we're about to put out the second batch on Twitter soon. So stay ready, have your domain name in your Twitter name, and you'll be eligible. So I think this is a great feature because it just really supports community building and pride around your NFT domain. So stoked on the company giving back in this way. And for the NFT project of the week, we talked about them with story number 1, but this week it just has to be the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Bored Apes and the Yuga Lab that runs the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they purchased CryptoPunks from Larva Labs. They distributed the IP of CryptoPunks back to all the owners. They then dropped a land sale announcement, and then on top of that, they dropped Apecoin, which had the most well-run and orchestrated token drop that I've seen yet, and really gives me confidence that by setting the bar high, NFT projects will continue to innovate, will continue to improve, and put community first. So, regardless of if you own an ape or own the token, this puts NFTs on a global stage and really broadens the marketing and the awareness and the reach of crypto, Web3, NFTs, and Metaverse as a whole. So just want to give a shout out to the project and really for paving the way and helping lift the NFT space as a whole. There's a saying, a rising tide lifts all ships, and right now we're seeing a rising tide in NFTs. Thank you so much for watching this week's Crypto Weekly Recap. If you have any thoughts or if there's a topic you want to see covered, leave a comment below, tag me on Twitter, slide in my DMs. I want to hear from you. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. I appreciate it, and it helps us reach more Web3 curious people. So with that, I'll see you in the Metaverse, and we'll be back with another episode next week. Peace out.